Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dapper D's. I'm Dippy.
I'm Dadley.
Dotto.
And we're the Dapper D's, the only show on the internet that, after 84 long years, every member is finally back in the main cast for another episode. Hey.
Yes.
We've had a little bit there, and it's been a hot minute, but we're all back.
We're back.
All of us, every single one of us.
I can confirm, I am hotter.
Exactly. And we are here today to bring you a nice, simple episode because for the past 2 months, we haven't all been able to meet together to do a Dapper discussion. We left off Dapper discussions in June.
Wow.
Now it's August. We didn't do one at the end of... No, we did one at the end of June. We didn't do one at the end of July. And we didn't... And now it is August.
Yes,
that doesn't sound right. Wait. Oh, yes.
It is August.
So, hold on. You do bring up a good point. Give me just a second here. Because the
Also,
desktop
I'm
audio
older
will
and
pick this
wiser.
up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can... Yeah, we can all
I'm
confirm
somehow
that.
younger and dumber.
Yeah.
Because we're young, dumb, and ugly. That is
Hey,
a...
we're not dumb.
Whoa! Okay. There we go. Music was just a tad loud. Participant
goodness.
screen sharing, Dotto.
Ah,
God's sake.
yes. I am the one in charge of that. Hi.
Wow, I just took a peek at the lo-fi chat that we take our music from. Shout out to the Lo-Fi Girl channel for their wonderful radios and live streams with music available. But I just took a look in the chat, and there was a poll being asked of, is English your first language? And 68% said no. English is not their first language. So
The lo-fi chat is wild. I've hopped on it, and there are people helping other people do algebra homework, and then I've hopped on it, and there are people arguing about like Mormonism and Christianity. I'm like, this is a very diverse group of people that just enjoy some lo-fi music. Like,
it's a very diverse group of people.
who doesn't like lo-fi?
I'm not gonna lie, every time I've ever gone on to like lo-fi music, it's always a bunch of people that don't speak my language.
That's fair.
So
I've
it's just a
been
bunch of characters.
actually, Dono, I think
Yeah.
you'll appreciate it. I'll send you the link. I've been doing I found a Zelda lo-fi mix in the like, the setting is it's all 8-bit and it's Link's bedroom with all these Easter eggs of like old Legend of Zelda games. I'm obsessed with it.
Send that to me. Yeah. So gentlemen, how have you been?
I have
Ah!
been I could honestly, I could honestly be the same if I'm being honest. I'm doing just about as good as I can be.
I can go for some ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
That literally was the game plan for today until like a half hour ago when I was like, oh shit, it's Monday. We're supposed
Oh,
to stream.
wait a minute.
Oh yeah, Dippy,
a
did you
minute.
forget? I didn't see
No,
it
I
in the
didn't
chat.
forget. I didn't
You-
forget.
Me and Dono completely forgot.
Yeah.
Dippy was just waiting patiently. Just like,
Oh,
Where
yeah.
are these idiots?
yeah. We should do some announcements. Like some changes that are happening to the channel. And such like that.
Then go for it.
Here's what we're gonna do. Dono's gonna say a professional announcement, and then I'm gonna follow it up with something silly to break the tension.
Okay. I would like to professionally announce that we will no longer be doing a long-running campaigns during the weekend of this channel. Crossroads looks like it will still continue to go. It's just needing some scheduling fixing here and there. But stay up to date in our Discord, or just watch our streams because we're awesome and we're pretty. But yeah. Is there
Indeed.
anything
I only have
forgot?
one working testicle.
Oh.
That
Hey.
there are some
Is
probably
is
some pros and
is
cons there.
testicle, Does that testicle only have Y chromosome shooting out of it? Because you got a lot of boys.
I do have a lot of
Oh.
boys. I got 2 boys.
That's
That's
fair.
right.
I don't know. That was my announcement. Why the fuck not?
There you go.
And then I don't.
I mostly there's a moment. Everyone describes a moment differently. I describe a moment as something that happens, and if you blink it, it's gone. There is a moment that I can summon every once in a while that I love, which is where I say something off the wall, and Dippy has a look on his face of like shame and hilarity that he associates around me.
So
Can confirm. I
Deadly,
live
I-
that moment a lot.
Deadly, I think you've answered this question. Not
Okay.
even, like, it might be dug in a little too deep. Did you
No,
ever
by all
want
means.
to have like more kids, or are you good with your not like?
Oh
and-
Jesus.
Or like do
So
like the idea of maybe having a daughter?
So yeah, I did.
Or does that
Oh
scare
my
you?
God, you hit the nail on the head. I can talk about this for a while. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Under no
Oh
circumstance
no!
do
Like
I want to
sometimes we
risk.
just rant.
Yeah, no. Under no circumstance do I want to risk having another boy. First and foremost, I'm like, I am good. I
Oh.
have my 2 boys. With that being said, and very personally, and I don't really share this with a lot of people. I like my biggest motivation in life is fostering. And I think back and forth on like if I'll be good at it, if I really want that in life, because there's a part of me that very much sits back and says, when these 2 turn 18, I'm still young. I had my first kid when I was only 17.
That's true.
They're out of the house. I got a lot of life ahead of me to do whatever the fuck I want.
Hopefully,
Um,
I hope that you're at least 40 when you have your first grandkid.
yes, but
Because
that being
mathematically, that would mean they're
It-
doing well.
I can say right now here in this moment, I don't want any more kids, but what I have found when I am in a better place mentally, like full transparency, I've talked to you 2 about it, but stream wise, this is my worst depression spell I've had since high school. Like I'm just something is going on in my brain. I'm really going through it. I'm trying to get back into therapy right now and get some professional help because this is not good what's going on up there. I have found when I'm not in my lows, when I'm feeling better and I'm asked this question, I am very gut instinct reaction to be like, oh, absolutely, I want a daughter. Whether that is adopting, fostering. So when I'm feeling better, the answer is normally, yeah, I want more kids. So that's the answer I try to stick with because I feel like that's my more well-rounded brain's thought. But right here, now in this moment, God, no, I'm fucking good.
Right.
Good. Yeah, on the idea of like fostering and stuff like that, I completely hear you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, foster stories make me fucking cry.
Yeah, so my mother cleans houses for a living, and I have spent many of days just helping her out, going to random people's houses and helping clean. She did this one person's house that they fostered 9 children at one time.
Oh,
Ended up
Damn.
being like completely not what they planned at all. It was like triplets that came to the door immediately after, a brother and a sister that couldn't be separated, like the worst case scenarios of fostering happened.
Yeah.
And they just made it work, and like their house was fucking destroyed, and I spent 7 hours helping clean with a team of my mother and 2 other people. But everybody was so fucking happy in that house. There wasn't a kid that wasn't giggling the entire time, and I just sat back. I'm like, oh, this is the shit. Like, so
as long as they're
I-
happy.
I think that's
Exactly.
fucking awesome because, like, honestly, I had a friend when I was living in California who two brothers, they're twins, but not like identical. What's the word? Fraternal twins. And this family, they kept having, like, it's sad because they kept having like miscarriages, but every time that they would have a miscarriage, they would be like, all right, we're gonna adopt another kid because we're meant to have another child in this house, and that was their plan and everything. And so they would go through the adoption services and everything like that, and so they still filled their life with children and joy every single time, and then like let these kids have this life. It's just like, hey, just because we lost one doesn't mean that we can't take in one, you know?
Absolutely.
Which I think is a beautiful fucking thing. And when I found that out when I was like 10, I fucking cried.
This will be the last thing I say on it, because I'll be honest, I am not wanting to cry this stream, and like Donna, in a loving way, like you hit a little piece of my armor just now, which I'm okay with. You're a friend. I love it that you know how to do that. None of my kids were planned, and I've never had that moment of somebody being like finding out I'm having a kid and being like, oh my god, congrats. It's always been the holy shit, how are you gonna do this? What's going on? Like, and I want that moment in life one day. I do want I want the congrats, and I want like just the I want to have a kid without people being like, what the fuck are you doing to your life? Like, but I also feel like that's a selfish reason to have a kid, and I feel like too many people have kids for selfish reasons nowadays. Not throwing shade at anyone in particular, but yeah, a lot of people have kids for selfish reasons, which end up being very fucked up dynamics in the household. So,
hey guys, today on the Family of 12 YouTube channel.
Oh my god.
Watch as brothers 1, 2, and 5.
California. Oh my god, California just passed a fucking law that if you have your children in online content, they legally need to be getting a cut of the money now.
Yeah, good.
The children do?
Yeah.
The children need to be getting a cut of the money if they are sponsored or if they are shown in any content.
Well, that seems appropriate.
Yeah. That's like pay your actors.
Excuse me, I am so sorry.
Or pay your creators. Fuck, man.
It was one of those. It was one of those moments I had both my hands on.
Yeah, you're good.
I could go on about that one, but like, you know, but my wife did stunts and shit like that. But I'm not gonna like. That's her family. So
on the subject of children,
Dippy, I was gonna talk to you. I was gonna ask you next, and then Dadley just kept.
No, you're good. So on the subject of children, I am 24 years old. I'm not.
You still got time.
Yeah, I have like.
You're gonna be straight shooting until you're like 40, my guy.
Right, and I've only. What are you talking about? Anyway, no.
Watch out, bud. Vasectomies are important.
Listen. Staying on topic here. I know that both of you have children, and as you just mentioned, you had children when you were relatively young. I haven't even been in a proper relationship for a long time. I tried something out like end of last year, and it was okay for a bit, but it was not. It was never. It didn't. Not never. It wasn't gonna last very long, and it didn't. Excuse me. And I've thought about children in the past, like how, like, would I even want any? If I did want any, how many would I want to have? I've come to the conclusion that I could take or leave one son. I could, like, I would be okay with having a son, maybe two. It just depends. Like,
Dippy,
if it's meant to happen.
I'm just gonna tell you this: if you are determined to have one gender of children,
you're gonna get the other.
Get the second.
I've heard
and
it.
you know,
here's the thing: my family genes have been very strongly male because my dad's side of the family has only ever produced boys. And as a result of that, like the naming convention that I have, I don't know if I've told you about this. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream. I know I've told you guys about this with my name. All of the names have been like RJ names, and there are plenty to choose from for guys, but when my mother wasn't sure if I was going to be a boy or a girl, my uncle on my mom's side, so her brother, asked her what the name was going to be, and she was like, well, I want to name him Matthew Christopher, but my husband says that there's a family tradition to keep up where his initials have to be RJ. And my uncle came up with the two names for whether I was going to be a boy or a girl, semi-kiddingly, but semi-seriously. He came up with, it was, if I was a guy, he wanted my first name to be Rambo. I don't remember what my middle of what he said he wanted my middle name to be.
Rambo Justice.
Yeah, Rambo Justice.
If your first name was Rambo, you'd be a much different person.
Oh, I would be. And if I was a girl, he said
with a knife in his mouth.
Yeah, and if I was a girl, he said, well, that my name could be Rainbow Juniper. And I was like, I don't know about that one.
No.
And he was like, so I don't know that I don't know that my uncle was quote unquote pleased when when my name got landed on, but you know, my uncle on my dad's side, my dad's older brother is adopted, and I didn't know that until recently, like recently being a couple years ago, and I didn't know like what family he came from, but he wanted to, so he looked up his ancestry and tracked down his real family in Indiana, and he met his biological parents for the first time.
Cool.
I think he was given up for adoption when he was like a baby, so he never knew his biological family, and he just met them for the very first time like a couple months ago, and it was a very fun experience for him. It was an interesting experience for him, to say the very least. And I came to the thought of like, well, you know, if there's a point that I reach in my life that like I resolutely decide whether or not I want a kid, I would rather it be my own. I would rather it be my own flesh and blood, but I would take in. I would adopt at least one child if I didn't have any by the time I was a certain age.
That's great. Like, so within my mindset, like usually like people that adopt, they either have like a big family already, and then they bring in like like they foster and then adopt a child, because they just like the rest of the family kind of makes the decision for them, or it's two people that are just like, let's just adopt all of them.
Right.
And just not take them in like crazy. And I think that's like a lovely freaking thing, like to have as people. And then there's obviously like there's not that just like you click with a child and your two parents and whatnot, and you're just like, you know what, this is like, I don't care what loins you came from, you're my child, you know.
Precisely.
And that's a beautiful thing, I think. Adopt,
please,
if you can adopt. Like, if you have that in your heart and you have that ability. It is expensive. It's
very expensive.
Yeah, but on the idea of like having your own kid, my brother-in-law, my brother-in-law and my sister have twins, and they went through excruciating testing because he doesn't produce, and so there was like, I don't know what the whole scientific thing was, but eventually, like, both the kids are related to him. The daughter looks exactly like my sister. His son looks exactly like him. It's ridiculous how much they look like them. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what you can do these days.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this was an interesting beginning to
absolutely.
Really quick, just while I'm thinking about adoption and whatnot, ADHD brain, Dippy.
Yes.
As like, you grew up listening to country music, I'd assume. There was a song all over the radio when we were kids.
When we were kids. Oh, I thought you were gonna. Okay,
younger.
Never mind.
It's like I don't know. I have to look up the name.
Are
of the
you
song.
thinking of "I'm My Own Grandpa"?
No.
Great song, by the way.
The chorus,
a Roger Miller classic.
The chorus was like, I want to be just like you, Dad. Ain't that cool?
Oh
I'm
my
your
god,
buckaroo. You know what
that
I'm talking
shit
about.
Make me fucking cry, man.
If you do know what I'm talking about,
It's ringing a
Yeah.
bell
I know
very
exactly
faintly.
what you're talking about.
I don't know off the top of my head.
My wife would freaking show it to me.
Like, is it like pop? It was country?
it was a country song. Rodney Atkins, Watching You.
Yeah.
That one didn't
I've
register.
been
Doesn't register for me
watching
quite yet.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
that's
So
cool.
Dano, you know
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I recently just put the pieces together that there's now a current country singer named Thomas Rhett that I love to pieces.
Mhm.
I think Thomas Rhett is one of the best in country music right now. He's Rodney Atkins' son. That song was written about Thomas Rhett now.
Oh my god.
Oh. Well, there you
Also,
go.
when did country become just you have a twang in your voice when you sing?
Well, here's the thing. Okay.
Because that like I literally was listening to a country song playing at not where I'm working, and it was literally like the most pop song ever, but the dude was singing with a twang, so it was
Yeah.
country.
You just rolled
Yeah,
like
it's-
the triple bar on the slot machine in my brain, and you were about to get like a whole deluge of country music knowledge from me.
Let's go.
So there is a docuseries by Ken Burns, and Ken Burns is known for doing docuseries and large scale documentaries. He did like world famous documentaries about World War II, about the Civil War, the American Civil War, and about the Vietnam War specifically. He did like those three wars because they were the most influential ones on our livelihoods today. He also did a series about like baseball, and but he does these like large scale documentaries, and one of his most recent ones was country music. 8 2-hour-long episodes of nothing but the history of country music, where it came from, the most influential players, the most influential genre changes and shifts, all of these like pieces put together of how country music became what it is today. And speaking specifically to the tune of like, why does modern country music suck? Well, he didn't touch he ended his docuseries in the year 2003 with the evolution of Garth Brooks and the country concert experience that he created of like thousands of people packing a stadium to listen to Garth Brooks. And
Yeah, stadium country.
yeah, stadium country. And stadium country was a development that in the system of country music being produced, all that country really turned into was mass appeal for a large demographic of people that in a growing media of in a growing liberal media were feeling left out by from what they had grown up with, because in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, American media was very conservative. Like very, very conservative. And when Reagan and like the presidents would show up and they would all be like compliant with it and happy with it, but they would, you know, and when Reagan showed up, it just got even more conservative and like family first, like, and all these like right wing, well, not necessarily right wing, but you know, conservative ideals.
Yeah.
And then like when the 90s and 2000s came around, there was a big sudden shift in the counterculture right around the time The Simpsons came out, I think. They became Ooh, excuse me. They became such yeah, I'm good. They became such a cultural phenomenon of this like counterculture of like the American family is not everything it's cracked up to be, and they were making jokes about the conservative media and about these large players in the world. That the media suddenly woke up and turned into this giant machine of like, hey, you've been like the main player in the spotlight, you, the general you, of being like the farmers and the Christians and the conservative people of the country, were like, you've been in the spotlight for like 40 years now. Now this new generation of media is going to come in and change everything. And they did. Now country music is like, nowadays especially, country music, a lot of people in the American South believe that country music is right-wing music, when it's not. Its origins, as laid out in the first couple of parts of the country music docuseries, was this ideal of like, you know, you had songs about like the unions, you had songs about like these, like the rights of the people in the South, you had songs about like loving your country, but also being critical of it when it was doing stuff, like when it was doing stuff you didn't like. Some people's songs were misinterpreted so that basically it played both sides whether it wanted to or not. Johnny Cash was a huge player in the scene of like, he was invited by Richard Nixon to play at the White House, but when he got there, he played a couple of his most like folky, like countercultural songs of that era. When his last song in the White House was his famous piece, What is Truth, which talks about all these people's lives who are asking questions about the United States, about whether it was worth it to live in the United States in the condition that it was in, especially during the Vietnam War, when 18-year-olds were getting drafted and sent off into a losing conflict in a country they, you know, that some people didn't think we had any place being in, and a lot of people thought we should be here to help these people, but we're not getting the ground that we want. And then eventually, you know, What is Truth being written during that time and being performed in the White House in front of Richard Nixon, a big proponent of continuing that war, was a big moment. And a lot of people were like, wow, goddamn. And then you had Outlaw Country develop, where Outlaw Country was this huge swath of people like Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson, who went from the Nashville sound of these like string instruments and horns and like sounding basically more like an orchestra to back into the roots of like just picking on a guitar in Texas, where these large swaths of people enjoyed music that was meant to go against this new rich sound that Nashville country was creating.
And just to throw a little thing in there, Poor Man's Poison is like currently like the biggest outlaw country in modern day. They are like the ones that have kind of started to, like, you see it on the surface again. You see them getting TikTok traction, surprisingly, for a very niche genre of music. There's a lot of it out right now currently. It has a massive resurgence.
And I'm trying to remember the genre of music where they just talk about it's like comedy country, where it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just like
Roger Miller was a big comedy country type fellow. He wrote like folky, campy, funny songs. Every country artist toyed with the idea. Johnny Cash has an entire album called Everybody Loves a Nut, where it's just like comedic songs, like funny songs that he wrote and that he did, but he wrote it in his alcoholic stage, where he was like heavily influenced by drugs and alcohol. Johnny Cash had a huge drugs and alcohol stage in his life. I knew that.
I just didn't know.
But yeah, Everybody Loves a Nut came in like right in the middle of, if not right at the end of that stage of his life. His first album off of that binge was Johnny Cash Live at Folsom Prison, which is one of the best country albums of all time, probably.
Top 10 albums ever made, in my opinion. Top 10 for sure.
Ever is a big stretch, but it's a stretch I'm willing to take with you, because
Same,
Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison is a bless your health, bless your money. Okay, if you did another one. But Johnny Cash Live at Folsom Prison, Live at Folsom Prison was one of the largest country albums like made. Like at the time, people were like, "Oh my God, he's performing these songs for prisoners." And the last song on the album was a song written by a prisoner at Folsom Prison for John, and he handed it to Johnny and said, "I want you to take a look at my song." And then Johnny took one look at it and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do something with this." And then they put it as the trailing track on Live at Folsom Prison, and it's called Greystone Chapel, and it's hauntingly beautiful. And
they're also he was a big proprietor of like reforming of prisons and shit.
Right? He was,
because of his experience live at Folsom and live at San Quentin. But to answer your original question of why is country music just you have a twang in your voice, a large part of that came from, funnily enough, outlaw country and this like Y2K country becoming a morally disambiguous celebration of the American South as it stands today, rather than as it used to stand, as what it used to be. Excuse me, because there are a lot of folks who like romanticize the I just met a girl and she's the most beautiful thing in the world, like that kind of like country as like, oh, this is the best music, which they have their right to that opinion to do that, but
hey, enjoy what you want.
But a lot of classical traditional country is making its way back into the roots of music culture, bringing me to something I wanted to bring up. Have y'all seen Oliver Anthony perform his song Rich Men North of Richmond on TikTok?
No, I have not.
Are you serious? Okay, both of you, we need to stop what we're doing. I wonder if I can do this on YouTube without it getting no, I can't. I would
right,
not. I'm not going to do it live for the stream, but you go to YouTube,
okay,
and look up Oliver Anthony Rich Men North of Richmond.
Oliver
Anthony. In 4 days, it's accrued like 5 million views. It's
north of Richmond?
Richmond, north of Richmond, yes.
Right,
yeah,
I got
so
it.
you two mute yourselves to listen to this. I'll explain to the chat what this song is. So, this man, Oliver Anthony, is a 24-year-old from West Virginia who grew up in like a farming community and a mining community, and he just got picked up recently by Radio West Virginia to perform this song for their YouTube channel, and to like put it out into the world, to promote that Oliver Anthony is creating music now, more heavily. And he put out, Radio West Virginia put it out, a clip of his song on their TikTok, and people lost their minds because it was like, this is the country music that I grew up with. This is the country music that I remember, that I want to listen to, because it's that same working class country that people, about somebody being critical of the system that they're growing up in, especially the one today. And people are saying that this song is like where there's this controversy about a certain artist being like too left for country and a certain artist being too right for country, about like, try that in a small town and I'll wait as long as I have to. Whatever those two songs are and whatever those two artists are, there's a lot of division in the country music genre right now because of those two people. Oliver Anthony took like the fringe ends of those two groups of people and slammed them together in the middle and made a beautiful song, Rich Men North of Richmond, that like everybody is united against a common enemy, and the common enemy in Oliver Anthony's song is, well, think about where Richmond, Virginia is and go just slightly north. And that's what I will say about that. It is one of the most like viral pieces of country music like in the social media sphere, because he talks about, I don't know what part of the song they would both be in right now, but it talks about welfare and like how the wrong people are on welfare, not how welfare is a bad system. And it talks about people being like, you know, these oppressive things that are happening that nobody wants to pay attention to because of other things. And it just connects with so many people for that reason, to the point where these he just did a live performance in North Carolina that drew a crowd of about 5,000 people to watch him just at this like farmer's market in North Carolina, and they recorded him singing it live and they posted it to YouTube. And it's, the people of the country music fandom have basically agreed, yeah, let's make this the #1 country song in the world, like right now, please.
That was fucking incredible.
Yeah, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible.
Did we just
song.
finish it at the same time?
I mean, it's I would
You
assume.
played it
Did
at
you watch
fairly.
Did you watch the live one or the like what he with his dog?
I don't know. He's in front of. I don't. Oh, I didn't.
Is
see
it just
that.
him in a grass field without anybody around
Yeah.
him? Yeah, you watched
Yeah,
the
that's
version
the
that I
one.
wanted you to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
the one I
his.
watched.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love a good song that's like just broken down to a guitar and a voice.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
Like there's so much more. Like I feel like there's so much emotion in that.
I think it was famous country artist Waylon Jennings who said country music doesn't have to be anything more than 3 chords and the truth. And Oliver Anthony hits Oliver Anthony hits that nail on the fucking head, like on the tippy top of its head, and drives it deep into the heart and soul of people around around not just the American South, but the American like mid-Atlantic into the Northeast and the Northwest, or not Northwest, sorry, Midwest.
No,
Because God damn.
God, man.
No, I've grown to love country music. So I grew up in a household that was 2 things. It was country music or gospel. And my father wasn't in town. My mother played AC/DC as a treat. I don't know how that fit in. I genuinely don't. I've asked my mother to this day, and she's like, I don't know. I just like AC/DC. Like,
Fuck yeah.
So I grew up for.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah, I grew up for like the majority between like, I'd say 12 to 20, hating country music. Just being one of those people that I'm like, no, it was my fucking father's music. And my father, all respect to him, liked the dumbest version of country music. Like his favorite songs were like, Got a Brand New Girlfriend, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, Water by Brad Paisley. Like that was his shit. And it's not good.
Wait, don't tell me. Let me guess. Honky Tonk Badonkadonk by Trace Adkins?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Granted. Personal guilty pleasure of mine is that I personally fucking love Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. Like outside of like 50s, 60s, 70s country and like modern day revivalist country and Southern Gothic, modern day Southern Gothic, just slotting right there in the middle is Honky Tonk Badonkadonk.
I like that with
like Mr. Mom by Lone Star is another great one.
What a cute song. Actually, sincerely, a good song.
Yes.
Mr. Mom is such a good song.
But like Lone Star too. Like what happened to them? They didn't really.
Florida Georgia Line is also that niche of like very silly country. No. I love Florida Georgia Line to pieces. They're a band that has stolen my heart for some fucking reason. So it's not until
charge complete.
Your charge is complete.
There you go. Now I can get up and walk around.
It's not until I've been like more of an adult that I've gotten into country again. And like, granted, my country is still limited. Of like, my go-to country is normally Poor Man's Poison because I like Poor Man's Poison is very much just fuck the government, fuck establishment, but with a fun guitar, like.
With a funky little guitar bit.
Little guitar bit.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Freaking. So you know that I used to write music and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like play in bands.
Same. Yep.
And like, when you get like, it's been a real long time since I've written anything. But
We should write a Dapper D song.
Fuck, dude. But like, I don't know. When I was younger, I would make like love songs and whatnot. I just thought it was just like what was in my heart at the time. But now, like, as I've grown and shit, I've like gone through some rough stuff, and I'm just like, I just want to make shit that helps me to just like push it out and like not get it out, and maybe that helps with somebody, but not like I've thought of different lyrics and shit like that, and I want to like, part of me is just like, because I was never the one to write like the musical part of it. It was always like the lyrical and the beat and like, or like getting that together. I would have somebody else in charge of music, and then I would build off of that.
Yep, absolutely.
And I've thought of like so many different fucking hooks and all these different things, and it's not like I could start making shit again, but I just
I recently so I every once in a while get the itch to write music, and I'm friends with a lot of bands still and whatnot. I'll give them a shout out of like Always Grounded is this like small punk band right here out of Connecticut that the lead singer RJ something is also a like professional wrestler, which I think is fucking hysterical. That his TikTok is like, check out my band, and then the next video is him at some like local wrestling show just like RKOing people.
Dude. That's like
Well,
Bill Murray vibes. Fucking
yes.
The
I called him in like a daze at like 1 o'clock in the morning a couple months ago, and I'm just like, LAX. There's something about LAX, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's a pop punk song, LAX. He's like, I don't get it. And so the next day, me and him sat on the phone for like 2 hours of like, no, it's like an ex-girlfriend of like, you left your baggage at LAX. And now that's a released song. I'm like, oh, songwriting's stupid sometimes.
yeah, it is. It is really stupid sometimes. Fuck, man.
What sucks for me is I wrote an entire fucking album that I then signed paperwork saying I did not write that album.
Oh my god.
So I cannot
You dummy.
tell people. I cannot tell people that I wrote an album. But like the band's also not.
You can't
making
tell them
music
what
anymore.
album you wrote.
I can't tell them what album I wrote. And I can't even say the band name because I wrote the majority of their second album as well, and that's the only music they released.
Oh my god.
God damn.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Well,
But
I mean,
on a
you
side note,
can
I was really
just-
good friends with a band called These Hearts.
Mhm.
At one point in my
These-
life, I was very good friends with a band called These Hearts. I'm no longer anymore because friends don't like friends who sign contracts. But
Mm.
that's totally unrelated.
I don't know. Like I've thought about like band names and shit like that. So what would I call them? Because I would always
Hey,
name
just
a band.
just for your
Like, that was
two's
just my
sake.
shit. Yeah.
Just for your
Yes.
two's sake, really quickly, I'm gonna do like a bonus thing for stream where I haven't done my daily word games yet today. So,
Okay.
Oh,
spoiler alert for
Oh.
stream. These are gonna be. I'm gonna bring up. Here it is. So I'm gonna bring up just here, real quick.
Mhm.
This is my. These are the daily word games that I play every day. I'm just gonna do them on the side as these two continue to talk, and I'll contribute to the conversation if I have
So,
the ability to.
I've thought about like different names for bands, and I used to be the type that was like, oh, long names are like really, really good and shit like that. My very first band's name was oh fuck, At Last
hey
Days.
Dippy.
I wonder-
Dippy, here's another Wordle for you to do. I made a custom Wordle for
Oh,
stream.
perfect. I'll add that to the list.
But like my first song or like the first band that I ever made with friends was called At Last Days. We never did a show, but we
Okay.
had so many fucking fans for some reason,
That's
just
awesome.
because of the goddamn name. And I was like, and they would constantly just be like, it's a dumb name. I was like, I know.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. My first band I was ever in was called Purple Flying Dishwasher Monkeys on Fire.
Whoa,
That's such a good name, though.
Whoa,
Like
whoa,
for an
whoa.
I don't give a
Wait.
fuck kind of like not what the
What
fuck the
the-
name is.
I'm
That's
sorry.
such a good goddamn
Purple
name.
flying dishwasher monkeys on fire.
Yeah.
Correct.
I
What's
just
wrong with that?
You got it absolutely correct. Yeah. That was my first band I was ever in.
golly, that's incredible.
We played 2
Here we go.
shows.
All right, so now you
Um,
guys can see what I'm playing too.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah.
did 2 shows. It was a lot of fun.
But if I were to make a band, like I would probably do a like Midwest emo with a little bit of like Panic at the Disco vibes within
Mhm.
that, like the vocals and stuff like that. Because now Brendan Urie was one of like my influential.
Dippy, there's an A in it.
Shush.
Dippy, there was an A.
I know. I'm not playing on hard mode. I'm just filling out filler guesses. Anyway, continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I were to name a band, or like if I were to make a genre, I would want to do like a Midwest emo, so like that raspy voice and stuff like that. But every
Yeah.
once in a while, hit with the like death, like just freaking the
the
vibrato.
Brendan Urie kind of like that big vocal fucking almost gospel
Like I'd mix it so much with different things. I just love. I would love to be
Yeah.
in a band that I could just like throw whatever genre I wanted at it. Not like pool and that kids pool. Fucking
Oh my god, yeah,
how-
what a cool concept. We talked about it the last Dapper discussion. But yeah, fucking
Yeah.
it's 2 different bands, but it's the same band members just doing 2 different genres of music,
Hmm.
so different Spotify listings.
That's like when Shania Twain released Up. She did the pop
Yep.
mix and the country mix.
Yes.
I wanted like a couple names that I thought of, and like if people fucking are just like, hey, I need a good band name, and if you like this shit, go for it. First name was based off of my favorite jazz singers drink, and one of their favorite songs that I listen to and it would have been Flying Jack.
I just wanted to say I like the band name My Favorite Jazz Singer's Drink.
Yeah.
My favorite jazz singer's drink.
But through that, could you guess what band or what singer?
I don't know jazz. I don't know jazz at all.
It's just Frank Sinatra, my guy. His favorite drink was Jack Daniels.
Huh.
And
Yes.
one of his
Jack Daniels, Charlie
songs is
Daniels.
Fly Me to the Moon. No,
Jack Daniels.
Oh. Wait, no. Fuck, I thought you were still talking. Okay, no, you got it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, but Flying Jack would have been like the name of that, like, kind of Panic at the Disco, fucking that little bit of like, like heavy riffed, emo shit. And then if I wanted to go with something that was a little bit more experimental, like heavy, but also going into the what's the name of the bands that I've been listening to? Let me check.
Hot Mulligan.
Fuck no, that's Midwest emo.
I fucking love Hot Mulligan so much.
I do too. Fuck, bro, they're so good.
John the Rock Cena Can Smell What the Undertaker is Cooking is an entire song title that has made me cry. Like, what a fucking song. Songs about body dysmorphia. Like,
oh my god.
Oh.
What the fuck is this band?
Speaking of body dysmorphia, I got it. I got it.
I'm so mad at myself.
Speaking of body dysmorphia, have you guys ever had this like weird sensation, like where you close your eyes and you feel your hands like growing and shrinking, like on the ends of your arms? That's just strange. I've had that happen to me before, but never when I was like tired or like I was under the effects of anything. It just happened. And
it's a sign of vertigo.
What happened more often? It happened more often when I was sitting in the car. I would sit in the back seat of the car, and I would have my head up against the window or up against like the wall of the car, and I would have that happen to me. And I was like, Jesus H, that feels weird.
Bad Omens would be the sorry, not to but like Bad Omens. Like I would if I was to do a band that based around like Bad Omens, Beartooth, etc., like that, like the a little heavier, but like
like
with the smoother,
that kind of new age of hardcore.
I'd fucking name it Marrow, like that'd be the name.
Ooh,
Comes Kids.
I got like
my guess is Pups, but I don't.
It's
know.
Kids.
Oh, freaking! Have you heard the band Pups?
Oh no, I haven't. We were talking about the thing. He's doing a little quiz.
Quizzle. Quizzle is one of my daily drivers. I love Quizzle. What color were O.J. Simpson's gloves? White? Oh,
black.
shit!
They were black!
Oh, shit! I wasn't alive for the O.J. Simpson trial, okay?
Also, I decided to listen to Slaughter to Prevail for the first time in a very long time.
Eric
and Viking came on, and I didn't even know it was one of their songs. I was just like, this is the dopest shit I've ever fucking heard. Like, I don't listen to like super heavy shit very often, but god damn, like it was so good.
I'm gonna brag just a little bit about music because
Also,
I don't know.
have one more thing after Dippy's done.
I don't know if you guys are like, you guys obviously love music. I don't know how deep into like music lore you are to know how important this album is. This is Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band. I finally got a CD copy at used at my used entertainment store, McKay's. Which, if either of you come down here, Dono, the next time you come down here, we have to go to McKay's. We have to. It's a must.
Yeah. Okay. Down.
Because it's one of the best entertainment stores I've ever been in. It has all this used music, books, like, and movies and games and systems and toys and all this other fun shit. We have to go to McKay's. Who has a black belt in judo? David Beckham, Prince Charles, David Lee Roth, or Bill Gates? None of these fuckers should.
My guess would be David Lee Roth.
You would be correct. I got it wrong because I guessed the wrong one. All right.
So Marrow is a band's name, but
incredible.
Which it's two bands' names that do close to the same genre of music, but
So if I were to like start like right now, be like, hey, I'm gonna make music again, I'm immediately diving into emo with 808s because like that is my shit. Like Little Aaron and Polaroid. And,
emo
like,
with what?
Emo with 808s.
Yeah. 808s.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It is my shit. I love it to pieces, and I know it's such a cringy genre because it's so heavy auto-tune and like kind of poorly written lyrics. Like Little Aaron, like the most famous emo with 808 song is "Drugs" by Little Aaron, which is just I only say I love her when I want to fuck her.
Oh my god, I actually think I might know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean,
It's such a dumb. It's so good though. It's
so stupid, but it's
good.
so
It's
good.
so good, so stupid. Dude. So I don't know if you knew this or not, but "Woe Is Me" is back.
I did not.
They are officially back. They are touring. They're like, like, it's not Tyler Carter on there, but granted, they haven't had like, they had switching freaking lead vocals like crazy, but they've officially like, it's the old screamer for Issues, who left and like started doing Cowboy Heart or something like that, and then apparently joined up Woe Is Me again. He's got the fucking Woe Is Me tattoo on his neck. He might as well be there. And then they have another vocalist, and then like old guitarist, old drummer.
Cool.
And yeah, which I think is super fucking dope. And if they ever go on tour, which they actually were just here in Michigan, they were at the Inkfest.
Okay.
Which is this massive freaking not like concert with old school bands. It's 3 days long. It's a camp and everything. It's fantastic. My friend went to it, and I fucking like but their new song's fucking great. It's fucking great.
That's why I am with Boys Like Girls right now. Their new shit has been so much fun.
Really? Oh yeah. Oh my god, it's so good that like their
it's so
old
good.
stuff like doesn't really like their new stuff resonates with me.
Yes.
Like it's in my taste range, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
How'd you come back with bangers that your fans would like? Like that's insane to me.
That's how this might be silly, but like Blink-182 has been one of those bands that like I feel like have followed my maturity because like you had Take Off Your Pants and Jacket that came out when I was a freshman in high school. Like it was the perfect album for when I was a freshman. And then when I was a junior, they came out with Neighborhoods, which had Neighborhoods is like the least favorite, like least liked album. I love Neighborhoods to pieces. And they started really dwelling into not just, hey, we're going to have 1 or 2 songs on this album that are emotional. They worked on a concept album. They front to back wrote the fuck out of that album. And that's how we ended up with Kaleidoscope and Up All Night and After Midnight and like beautiful songs in my opinion. And then as I'm now, I think it came out when I was 23 or 22. California came out. Another phenomenal album that very much fit the vibe of that age for me of like they had songs like Bored to Death, which is an incredibly like real song. I feel like that's an emotion and not a lot of people talk about is just like the boredom of adulthood. Like, so.
God damn, Dippy, you just fucking like cruising through this.
What can I say? They're my daily drivers. I know how to do this.
So, okay, I don't know if I told you guys this, but
God, Daniel.
My wife is currently asleep right here. So
this is my last
wife
daily driver.
Stabbed herself in the hand.
Whoa, who?
My Courtney. She stabbed herself in the hand. So,
we talked about this.
Yeah. Like now I give her shit.
Oh no, not on stream though. Yeah.
Like who stabs an avocado, right? Like,
yeah, you chop it. It's a.
Yeah.
you like take the knife and you punk down into the pit and then you just twist it out and you take it out.
Yeah.
You know.
No, she
or
like
you can
stabbed
use a
it,
corkscrew.
slipped. Yeah. Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, corkscrew. Oh, that's what I forgot. You had your wife put on your headphones when I was talking about that. Yeah, you just little like wine corkscrew.
But fuck it. So she had to get like her shit sewn up, but the way that I found out about it was her mother called me when I was done shopping because like the kids were being crazy, weren't gonna go to the store. And straight up, just like her mom calls me and she's like, Courtney's bleeding out. We don't know how bad it is. You need to get fucking home. And I'm like 3-ish miles away, and I'm just doing 60 through like shit. And the thing that's playing, the songs that are playing are let me see here. Sleeping.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast with sriracha by Psycho Stick.
It's what is it? Now I remember it later. What's the song by
Oh God.
I think it's If You Can't Hang by Sleep with Sirens. It's like where he's talking about like I was once 17, fell in love, and then for a teenage dream, and then it fell apart and it came back together. That was playing. It was like this insane moment of just like, holy shit, why is this music pumping me up to fucking drive? And it felt like one of those movie scenes where like the perfect music is playing in the background, and it like the next song came on, and it was like the same vibe, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I guess I'm just revving into this bitch going like this.
Yeah,
bro,
that is like genuine. Like I have a written out bucket list, and one of the top things on the bucket list is produce a music video, because like I've done like small production stuff here and there.
Oh, I've got you beat on that one.
Oh, I know, we've talked about
oh yeah, that's right,
made before.
Yeah.
But like I so badly want to make there's a song, I have to look up who sings it, called Mother Mother. Mother. Oh no, the band is Mother Mother. What is the song?
Mother Mother is such a weird band, by the way. Just
yes,
FYI.
they are.
Just thinking out loud.
It's All Right by Mother Mother. It is a whole song, and like the whole song has these like whispering voices for the chorus that are telling like it's all right, it's okay, we can do this another day. And it's supposed to be like very supportive and make you feel good and whatnot. And I want to make like a horror version music video to this, of the guy is a serial killer and the voices whispering to him are heads in his refrigerator.
Oh no. Oh my God.
God damn.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Honestly,
I could probably help you with that.
Hard. Because like effects wise, you just green screen a table, cut a hole in the middle of it, and like just put the heads, and then you just take a fucking just record the fridge.
Yeah.
And like open
it would not be that hard.
And then cut it out. That's really that's a decently simple fucking
it is.
But like you can do really cool shit with that. I've always
one of the things
to do
is I don't Oh, did you get it?
No, I got one of the words. Something acid. Is it what acid? Galactic acid?
No, not
the
galactic,
acid of the universe.
Space acid.
Space acid. Lactic is too short. It's 10 letters.
If I take acid in space, does it just put me back down on Earth?
If it, oh wow.
What's the acid that you produce from your stomach?
So
stomach acid?
No.
I know what you're trying to say.
Wait, okay.
It's not hydrochloric, sulfuric.
Acid or is a blank and strong endurant compound in the chemical form.
Inorganic compound with chemical. It has hydrogen in it.
Chloride and
hydrophobic.
No.
Hydrogen. Hydrochloric?
No. I tried hydrochloric. Chemical formula H3 something 4. If I got that something, I would get it. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Music.
Oh, I remember not bringing up this band earlier. It's called Tiny Towns or Little. Give me a second. Yes, Tiny Kingdoms. I was trying to remember what they remind me of. Also, by the way, they get less than 2,000 listeners a month on their Spotify. They just released an album. It's insane. I don't know how they don't have like a better fucking following, because they're so good. I was trying to remember like what their music reminded me of. It's Jack's Mannequin.
Oh,
they sound so much like that, like him, and it's insane to me. And I'm just like, oh my God, Dippy, did you just fuck up?
Only a little bit. Only a little bit. I brought it back.
But yeah, like I was just listening to him, like, who does this remind me of? And like, who's the heck's the person that does Dark Blue? And fucking just started listening to Jack's Mannequin and that Tiny Kingdom together, and it's so good. It's a little bit like the vocals are slightly different, but it's like the same vibe.
Yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
So good. So yeah. Recommendation again. Fucking Tiny Kingdoms.
I want to resend a recommendation.
Yeah.
So recently, I got to go see a band that I loved to pieces. Make Out.
You mean rescind?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to take it back?
Yeah. Take it back.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I recently got to see a band called Makeout that I used to love to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I now know they are just like a studio supergroup meant to make money. So the band, every time you see them, is 3 guys, a drummer, a guitarist, and a lead singer. And I now have learned that it is 3 different guys every time you see them on tour.
Oh no.
God. Oh.
It is very weird. And so I was talking to one of the opening bands, Scooped Up, great band, great guy. And he's like, oh yeah, Makeout is like a team of like people that work at a record studio that just released music under this band name. I'm like, oh, I don't like that.
I don't either.
That's kind of the. It's like the Asian nut pop or
Yeah.
like Japanese pop.
Yeah,
music
like K-pop kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
K-pop,
Mhm.
and they just freaking replace the girls every 3 years because it's like a high school project or whatever. What the fuck's the?
Not baby metal.
No, baby metal is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, baby metal's
How
under
old
like the
are baby
K-pop.
metal nowadays, anyway?
They're.
Wait, what?
I mean, they replace the people every few years.
What? No, that's what we
I
were just
thought-
talking about.
I
Baby
thought
metal.
baby metal was a genre, not a band.
No, Baby Metal's
metal's
a
a
band.
band.
Oh, I had no idea.
That's why Ronnie Radke did a song with them.
Oh.
Is
Good
it Ronnie
for them.
Radke or is it? Yeah. Or is it? No, it was Bring Me the Horizon that did one.
Okay.
By the way, I saw Bring Me the Horizon Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, how was that?
Honestly, so here's my fucking luck. The moment I get into the amphitheater or whatever the fuck it is, like the moment I go through that gate, I've like been dealing with like a little bit of a sinus infection, but nothing that should have kept me from being able to go to a concert. You know,
Yeah.
it was just something minor,
Mhm.
not a big deal. The moment I step through the gates, fucking absolute earache.
Mhm.
Just goes straight like, and
Oh.
it's one of those ones where it hits the nerve just right, and it goes
Yep.
into the jaw, and I just like instantly, I'm like, I could solve this with the Tylenol that I have in my car, but the moment I step out, I
You're not
can't
allowed
get back
back in.
in, and it's just like, oh my fucking god! And so my luck was just like shit.
Mhm.
Okay, everything's overpriced, and we had thought, oh, we should like take cash because that's what concerts usually do, and that's what like events usually do. No,
Yep.
it was all card. It was all fucking card for us.
Oh.
So we're like, okay, well, I guess we have a little bit on the cards. And then like everything was extremely priced. And I'm like, god damn, holy hell. And then like the stage ends up being really fucking small for the bands for what they're used to not playing it. It's a massive amphitheater with a really tiny stage and a very small pit. Like we almost bought pit tickets, but for some reason my brain was just like, nah, let's not do that. I don't want to have to deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Or like I don't want to be in a mosh pit, and it's too
Honestly,
small
I
to even
love
do a
mosh
mosh
pit
pit.
still.
Yeah, the stage was too, or the pit was too small for a mosh pit. Now, and I didn't make it through all of Fallout Boy because my ear was
Oh
screaming at me.
no.
Yeah, it sucked, but like it got to a point where it was like really calm, and I'm just like, okay, now's the time. I was just like suffering the entire time.
God.
But out of the performances, and I hate to do this, like, because I love Fallout Boy, I love their music, but Bring Me the Horizon just had a better stage presence. Even though
Bring Me the Horizon is one of the best like live bands you can
I
go
know.
see right now. They're
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
they're insane. My wife, like, it was a highlight because it was the first time that she ever saw them live, and so she was like ecstatic. But just they were more interactive with the crowd. They were like, Ollie Sykes is just a great frontman. Like he knows what he's doing. He's good with interacting with the crowd, even if he doesn't give a shit. It's still so good. And then it was just like Fallout Boy just weren't like it's the whole they're in the middle of their tour, they're exhausted, and
Yeah.
they didn't quite have the energy that you would like to have for them, and so it just kind of got to a point where I felt like, you know what, I'm not really enjoying this because it doesn't feel like the band's really enjoying themselves.
I totally get that.
And so
I know I did Dippy last time. It's not Dippy this time. Also,
Okay.
what I put in the Zoom chat, I can't say out loud for reasons that I typed, but
Mhm.
I'm very excited for that. Somebody else can if they want. I just can't because of other ears around.
Oh.
that's so fucking awesome.
Oh, cool.
I know, right?
Dude,
Very
I have
cool.
tried to. So my first concert that I ever went to was.
Can somebody read it out loud for chat? Like I said, I
By the
can't
way,
say it out
okay,
loud.
so
Dadley
Dadley is about to surprise his sons with tickets to Simple Plan, The Offspring, and Sum 41,
which is
which are
amazing.
so
by the way.
excited.
fucking bands I've tried to see. I saw Offspring. That was my first concert ever. Fucking insane. It was like a whole lineup of not bands, and then Offspring comes in at the very end of it. And it was this whole show called the Big Ass Show. And
If
it's
you
so
could come
goddamn good.
out here, I can get you really cheap tickets. I got very lucky that I got invited to like TikTok promoter pre-sale. I'm like, I'm not that famous. Dippy, I purposely gave you a very hard word, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I wanted to see what you would do because you're pretty good at these.
Yeah, fuck, bro, you're tempting me hard. I want to so badly.
I can get tickets for $25 a piece, and like they're like lawn tickets, just wherever you want to go.
Oh my god, because I've been trying to see Sum 41 like for years. I remember when they got back together and they were gonna play. It was them and Newfound Glory. We're gonna play Warped Tour.
Oh.
And I went to Warped Tour, super excited. Turns out they're not playing in my at my area, and it was fucking Newfound Glory was supposed to be playing during Fall Out Boy.
Yep.
You want to know what show they decided not to freaking do?
Oh no.
I have wanted to see Newfound Glory for years.
Yeah.
I love them. Like they were one of my first love of bands. Like,
I feel that.
My god. And I just fucking it's never worked out. They've always been opening. They've never they don't do when they do headlining stuff. I'm not able to go get them. And when they are playing with other bands, they just don't show up on the days.
Hey Dippy, do you like jazz?
Did you know that jazzy is the hardest word to guess in Hangman?
Zipper. Zipper is my go-to word for Hangman.
Damn. Well, apparently off of a study, jazzy was voted the most. All right.
If you want another one, I can make you another custom wordle.
That's fine, thank you.
It was gonna be boobs.
Okay. We've been talking about music for a minute now.
Yeah, because I was also doing my games, yeah.
I feel like this would be a good time to segue. And it's been a while since we got to do this.
Oh,
y'all want to make some magic items?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
I do.
God, please.
Also, how's we got a little project that we're doing that we're putting these
it's coming along. Like I said, it's a lot of right now, there's too many logistics that go into it before it's fun.
Oh yeah.
We are very far away from writing really cool descriptions for everything. Right now it's just how many do we have? How is this book formatted?
Yeah.
How is it broken down? Making sure everything looks uniform.
We are monsters.
Just to be I would really love it to be something similar to the creations of Media Lab Books and Jeff Ashworth's The Game Master's Book of Non-Player Characters, and I also have their, the Astonishing Random Tables. I want them to be very much formatted like these books.
The one that I started working on with the permission I got from these two, because I wasn't just gonna go start freewheeling by myself. But I wanted to give it a little more flavor, give it a little more, I don't know, something to it. Yeah. So this is eventually is going to be formatted like those books with flavor text essentially scattered around it.
Yeah.
This is
which I would be more than happy to write a lot of
notebook.
Flavor text. Yeah. A bard's notebook.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is an older bard's notebook who owns a pawn shop. So all the magic items, all the flavor text is somebody coming up and trying to sell him the item and his little quick response to what he thinks about it and whatnot. So it's been a lot of fun to write. But right now we are very far away from it being an actual project and more of just
we're about an hour into the episode, so we got plenty of time to go.
I had this idea for an NPC that did magic items, but it was all feet related.
I'm sorry?
You would just enchant your feet.
Dude, what are you get your fetish away from me, dude.
Ye old wiki feet.
Ye old wiki feet.
But
a compendium of every living being's feet.
You would make your feet smell like peaches or something really nice if you did a good thing for them. If you did terrible shit, he would curse you with onion smelling feet or whatever.
Dono, do we need to talk?
No. Listen, when you DM long enough, you just start going a little weird, okay?
I wish I had a button that I could say things to you guys without the live hearing.
Yes. I wish I
All
had
right.
a button. You do. It's called the mute button in text chat.
No, but you can't hear it. All right, maybe fair. All
Uh,
right, anyway.
Either way.
August is upon us, and I work in a school, and I have kids, as does Dono. So it's hard not to think about the back to school season. So, with that being said, Dippy, because you've been doing your thing, I'll have you go first.
Okay, yes, please.
And I'm gonna paint a scene for you.
Okay.
The adventuring party has been walking for days on end, looking for this lost temple. All they know of the temple is that it has one room that has a board you can write on in the back of it. As they stumble upon it, they are rows and rows of chairs with a little writing station in front of them. And at the board is a yellow cylindrical piece of wood that says the number 2000 pencil.
Ooh. Okay. So the number 2000 pencil. Well, obviously it has to be an everlasting pencil first and fourmost. Like,
Yeah,
that's a given. That's a given, is that it's everlasting, because number 2 pencils are like let's see. Really, it kind of just feels like the magical, the living pigments or whatever they are, where like you just draw the thing and it comes to like fruition as to whatever it is. I would say that the better version of that is that a drawing that you make with the number 2000 pencil will either act better depending on how sharp the pencil is when you draw it.
Ooh.
Like, I imagine a sharpening mechanic where like you sharpen this pencil, and like the more pencil you have, like the better. Obviously, if you used a whole pencil to create a drawing, it would act exactly like the thing. But if you just like drew like a gun on a piece of paper and then picked it up off the paper, you would have a very rudimentary version of what you drew. Like
Doodle Bob.
Yeah, like Doodle Bob. Yeah, it's the Doodle Bob pencil essentially. And like, you know, you just like, I don't know. I can't think of any specific creative thing other than that. Other than maybe like as soon as it gets like like you can sharpen it all the way down to the nub, and if you draw, and you have the capability, once it is just the nub, to expend the last of the graphite in the pencil to draw another pencil and just restore it, but only when it's below a certain level of sharpness.
I love that.
Did I come up with something on that?
If you want to.
Okay, cool. So this is the number 2000 pencil, and it is a swarm creation wand. The only requirement is that you have to be able to make a performance check DC, we'll say 12, to create some kind of a small creature of some kind.
Okay.
And it will make 2000s of that, and will take the swarm
Oh God! Oh boy! That's pretty creative.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually writing these down, because normally to do these, I have to go back and listen to old episodes that we've recorded.
There you go.
I'm done. I think I have all the magical items that we have created, which is wild. That I have all of them written down now.
There you go.
So
does that include the ones we've made in the Dapper Jeopardies?
Yes, it does. So how I'm formatting it is, what it boils down to is like I'm making like the executive decision of like just now you guys made 2 magical items. I'm like, some of these I might be able to rework to make them 2 separate items. Now a couple of them I'm like, no, these are way too similar. I have to pick how one works. So in the spreadsheet I have everything color coded of like, oh, Dippy's had the last 3, I'll go with Dono's choice this time, like so.
Oh, there you go. Very cool. What do you talk with the magic man? He's a magic man selling all the things all across the nation.
You are part of this adventuring party that has found
Adventuring
this forgotten
party.
temple. Adventuring party Adventuring
Part
party
of
has
this
found
adventuring
this
party
forgotten
that's
temple.
found this hidden temple, and you go up to the blackboard.
Yes, you do. You go up to the blackboard,
Mm-hmm.
and on it is just a small little piece of chalk.
I rip the blackboard off the wall. I take and I attack the first thing I see with it.
There's just a custodian
I would also
eating
like
lunch.
to remind you that I
That
have
poor
the
guy.
tavern brawler feet, and so
Just grabs.
fucking kill it.
So actually, I say that and I realize the chalk's too similar to pencils. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give you a ruler.
Okay.
A
Just-
ruler.
So I walk up to a blackboard with a ruler.
Yeah, no, there's a yardstick.
And I say,
sitting
"Who's your
on
daddy?"
the blackboard. There is a yardstick on the blackboard.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice yardstick.
I have a
There you
great
go.
idea for this.
Am I just
It's a yardstick.
okay? Give me a second. This is a tool that, when used with the pencil, can, instead of creating something 2000, it can create something that is 2000 times the size of what is drawn.
Oh God.
So when using the yard stick or yard staff,
Mhm.
and drawing upon a piece of paper, creating a blueprint, it will automatically make that blueprint into existence, creating a building or whatever you wish that is 2000 times the size of what is on that piece of paper.
Oh.
This is an easy way to create mansions. It is
Yeah.
a very, very good tool that, if you can get both of them together,
Mhm.
people will pay a very healthy price for
Yeah.
such a thing.
I love that.
So
And if you just want to make a house.
Mhm,
Yeah.
fair. So my idea, it steals directly from the concept of superliminal. This is Mask's perceptive stick of stealing. So
Okay.
you pick up the yardstick and you like hold it out in front of you, and you hold it next to something in the distance that the top and the bottom of the yardstick can frame the entire object. Like
Oh,
say
yeah.
you're looking off into the distance and you see a building, and you can stick the yardstick next to that building and measure the building with that yardstick. Then you reach out with your other hand to the object that you're measuring and you grab it. And you
I
have it in
love
your
that.
hand now, and it's the size that it measured on the yardstick. So if you were to go to, like, for example, if this existed in modern time, you could go to Paris with Mask's deceptive stick
no.
of
Oh no!
oh God. No.
Right now.
No. Wait. Okay, no, I got it. All right,
You're
so-
back.
Okay, so you could go to Paris with Mask's
Yes.
deceptive stick of stealing, and you could hold the yardstick up next to the Eiffel Tower. And as long as the top and bottom of the Eiffel Tower are both within the range, the measuring range of the yardstick, you could reach out and grab the Eiffel Tower. And now you have the Eiffel Tower in your hand. And it's the
I love
size
that.
that it was when you took it with the yardstick. If you want to restore it, then you have to basically finagle it so that you can
Back in
hold it out.
place, yeah.
You have to finagle it back in place with the same perspective, right? And if you do it incorrectly, like if you look up into the sky with the yardstick and drop it, it'll just continue to grow and fall as it falls towards Earth at like 1,000,000 times the size it was before. You just like grab the Eiffel Tower with one hand, move it, and place it up in the sky, and then it's just like twice as big, and it like falls down and
I love
kills
that.
loads of people. The reason that this is a legendary artifact is because Mask tried to use it to steal one of the moons of the Forgotten Realms, and
Yes.
he instead got stuck there.
My quick pitch for this is this is the short sword.
Oh.
And whoever wields it, it does 1d8 per foot of length. And so like it starts 3 feet, so it is 3d8. And every successful hit, we'll say it has 3 charges. On a successful hit, you can make the target do a con save. On a failed save, they roll a d10 and lose that many inches of height, and that height is
Ooh.
added to the short sword.
Oh
And so
my
eventually you can
God.
keep making it get longer and longer. You can also expel 6 inches as a free action to deal an extra, we'll say, D10 of damage.
Oh my god.
So you can shrink it to add extra damage
That's
to it as
incredible.
well.
I actually like that a lot.
That's really good.
Donald's building a dragon.
I am building a
Yes,
dragon.
you
I opened up
build
a
me dragon.
Canterbury egg and
Oh.
So
Kinder egg.
I wanted to take a moment
And it
here.
just happened to be a fucking dragon. I'm like, I'm making this.
What are our other like shits? Our other like recurring shits.
Urban Dictionary.
Yes, let me go to Urban
Play a
Dictionary
little
right
dragon.
now.
I don't have any of the things on.
The
Actually, give
first
me
link was
2
Urban
seconds.
Outfitters. Wait a minute. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. The word of the day on Urban Dictionary is Penske file.
Penske file.
As
That
in-
is
As incorporated in the Seinfeld episode The Barber, the Penske file is the project George is given to work on in a job he may or may not have. Unsure as to whether he has the job, he is equally unsure as to what work he has to do on this file. Thus, to refer to something as the Penske file denotes being given a task, not knowing what to do with it, but going along with it as if you do. This can consequently result in a lot of quote-unquote doing nothing while looking like you are working hard. The quote from the Seinfeld episode is, yes, of course, the Penske file. Ho ho, can't wait to sink my teeth into that. Wow, that Penske, we'll straighten him out.
I love that.
So that's actually kind of neat. Like,
Yeah.
just pretending you're going along with a job that you have no idea what you're doing is you've got the Penske file.
So
Ooh,
I
look
was
at
working
that.
on.
I made a
Look at
dragon.
that dragon. I was working on the D&D book we're writing while at work, and I have the files saved as a student's name that doesn't exist. So nobody knew I was working on bullshit. I made up a student's name, and now I
great.
might change their last name to Penske.
Uh-oh. Well, there you go.
There you go. Well,
How about that?
God. That was good. I like that.
Oh,
All right, I will be right back. I have to pee.
Okay.
I want to get a drink.
Dippy, while he's gone,
Yeah,
we should
sure.
think of a magic item for him to enchant.
yeah, well, he did school stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about a dunce cap? Have we already done a dunce cap?
I feel like a dun. Yeah, I think that we've done a dunce cap.
we
That
done-
was like on one of the Jeopardy.
Oh, it was. It was on one of
It
the
was.
Jeopardies. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so not a dunce cap, then.
what about a? What about like a little tiny chalkboard for like writing, or a
Mhm.
desk? Ooh,
Bad.
like a like a desk and chair setup.
You know something that just reminded me of a TikTok I made a long time ago about like the concept of magical furniture. Like a long time ago, I made a DM tip about the concept of magical furniture. We should present him with a student's desk and what magical
Yes.
property it would have if you sit at it. Like that would be pretty good.
I feel like it'd be the student or the desk of long rest.
Yeah, you just sit down in it and you just instantly like you pass out on the desk and you just like you can't be
All right,
startled
all right.
or you can't be startled, stunned, or surprised or whatever like while you're sitting at the desk, and as a result like you can't be damaged sitting at the desk, but you also can't be woken up for a solid 8 hours.
Like you have to sleep the whole 8
You
hours.
have to sleep the entire long rest at that desk.
We'll
But
see if
as a
that's what
result
he
of that,
comes up with.
you also like don't have to worry about anything while you're sleeping at that desk.
Yeah. It's a little bit broken. It's a legendary magic item.
Oh, yeah.
as such. But yeah.
Because
it
there was
comes
always one in like the classroom in the ancient times, and like the kid would sit at it and fall asleep, and then wake up 8 hours later.
No,
School
it
was
is
already
the, like,
over.
the reason that it was the same kid every single day that kept falling asleep at his desk, eventually creating it to become magical.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
every kid,
The
that
magic
ever
rubbed
sat
off
in
of
that-
him onto the desk.
Yes, I love that idea for like how magic items are made. Is that it's something that somebody did consistently so much
That it has, like, a
made it
memory.
into a magical
Yeah.
situation. Not like you force this thing to become magical. That like if I ever saw somebody play a fighter at my table that only had like just a fucking weapon,
That
I would be like, you know what? The next time that you do an amazing feat, it's gonna enchant it with your
sports-
essence.
The sports ball of muscle memory. like a basketball or a football, and you just like it will play the game of football or the game of basketball for you if you play it well, if it's been played well enough times. Like Michael Jordan's basketball would be a magic item,
or it just gives you the athletics feat.
Maybe
athlete's feet.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Like when you are attuned to this, you have access to the athlete's feet.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Which, by the way, I have a couple of ideas that I want to introduce into the Inquisition, such as the concept of, like, just, you know, you can attend a sports game in the Inquisition if you come across it. Like, there are
Sundial
arenas
would cast Fireball. But, you know.
Oh, my God.
Can we, like, I love that Sundial got his, like, or that Chaos did fan art for Sundial.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah, that made my day.
That's good stuff.
Dadley, we have a magic item for you. We have thought of an idea. Yeah. And we have made a concept already for it. But we want to figure out what you come up with.
So in the classroom,
So in this dungeon that you are with this adventuring party, that is apparently just the three of us.
Yeah.
Now you stumble upon in this room with the chalk or with the pencil, the yardstick. You see right sat in the middle of it a desk with a chair attached to it.
It is a student's desk just sitting in the middle of the main room. It seems to be isolated from all of the other ones. Yeah, it seems to be isolated from all of the other ones.
So
you don't want to mess with his inspiration.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes.
So you just want me to make this desk a magic item?
Yes.
This is the desk of quick naps. Laying your head down on this desk, you can take 2 actions. One of them is laying your head down. 45 minutes will give you the effects of a short rest. In 2 hours will give you the effect of a long rest. The second action you can do either before or after is you can twist your back perfectly in this desk to crack your back, giving you advantage on your next deck saving.
Oh,
that was like the other thing that I was thinking of. But that was like it wasn't exactly the same thing, but we're just like, it's the desk.
I came up with like that. If you sit down at the desk, you just automatically pass out, and you're out for 8 hours. But you cannot be like startled, stunned, harmed, or like you can't become like you can't be surprised when you're sitting at this desk. Like you're stuck there for 8 hours, but you are invulnerable while you are stuck there. Like
My other stupid idea is this is the desk of improper matches, where if you know a couple and you carve their name into the desk, that relationship is now doomed.
Like a death note for relationships.
Yeah. Because I'd say like 5% of high school relationships last. Like
yeah.
I mean maybe.
Not even that. But yeah.
Could be. But yeah,
I mean, I've got some pretty crazy exes.
So I want to take a
tell
moment
me about it.
Of your time.
It would not be appropriate.
Can I tell a very quick story?
Sure. What would you? Yeah, go for it.
Just talking about high school exes. My mom doesn't like talking about the fact that like her proper son was an utter slut in high school.
Yeah.
And she needed to give me directions to go to a house today. And she's like, it's right next to the girl that you dated for like, I don't know, 2 days, Bradley. And I'm driving and I pulled into a driveway and I'm like, okay, I have to come up with a fake name. I'm right next to Rebecca's house. And she's like, oh, I forgot Rebecca and Stacy lived right near it. No, Stacy's house. And I'm like, oh my God, they were that close. Like, like on the same street.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God, I was a terrible human.
There you go.
Entirely Jay Jenkins.
Oh my God. Not slut shaming, but what the fuck?
I'm allowed to slut shame myself.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's not wrong.
So I wanted to take a moment to talk to you gentlemen about
NASCAR.
NASCAR.
1 minute or 3 minutes of NASCAR. Go.
I was about to say I'm doing a whole segment. Fuck 3 minutes. I'm giving y'all like 10 minutes. I'm giving it because
last thing before we move on. Then 2%. I just googled it. 2% of high school relationships end up getting married.
Golly,
God.
That's abysmal. Which makes high school matter that much less. So, NASCAR. There have been a lot of developments. There's been a lot of fun stuff happening in NASCAR. I think the last race that we talked about, the last race we talked about was Nashville Super Speedway at the end of June, because that was when the last podcast was. That was when the last Dapper discussion was.
Yeah.
Well, there have been Oh, I can't shorten my window because Streamlabs is capturing it. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races in that time since then. And boy, has a lot happened. So, first and foremost,
Are we winning, Dippy?
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning, son? Well, let me tell you, I think I've talked on this. I think I've talked on our podcast before about the fantasy point system that I keep up with in NASCAR, which is a alternative to the real points. The real points are like you get points for your position, you get points for how you finish at certain points in the race, you get points for like, and you don't really get points for much else. And then there's like a 16 driver playoffs format that shrinks to 12, which shrinks to 8, which shrinks to 4, and those 4 are the only eligible for the championship at the end of the season, but all the other drivers are still racing around the track trying to get the win. It's weird. The NASCAR point system as it stands is totally fucking strange. I keep up with the point system where a driver earns 5 points for every position that they finish above last. And they earn 5 bonuses for finishing first. They can earn more bonus points for how they finish at those same points of the races that they implemented, because I think that's actually a good system. And they earn more points for doing specific things throughout the course of a race. And it was all based off of a NASCAR YouTuber called Slap Shoes. So I called these the slap points. Yes. And my God, have the slap points been strange recently. So as of today, as of August 14th, 2023, a lot of people in the slap points are lined up with where they are in the real NASCAR points. Like in the actual NASCAR points. There are some large discrepancies, but we have some people to talk about. Yes. After Nashville was Chicago Street. One of the, and I think I mentioned in the last podcast, this race had better be either amazing or terrible, because anything in between would be mediocre enough that NASCAR would keep it on when nobody wants it. But if it was amazing, I would be happy to have it back, and if it was terrible, they would get rid of it.
Okay.
Turns out it was a miracle, because Chicago had the worst weather they had ever had in it turns out that Chicago had the worst weather they had ever had in like 20 years, which rained out the entire event to be on a Monday instead of a Sunday. They had like track maintenance going on an hour after the green flag was supposed to drop. They had to shorten the race due to sunlight being limited. But through all of it, the racing product on track was not just passable.
Something to share about with NASCAR,
but it was the product on track was not just passable. We had a record broken.
Really?
Shane Van Gisbergen, a supercar driving star from New Zealand, drove for a guest car in the number 91. And for the first time in 63 years, a NASCAR driver won their debut race.
Whoa.
The very first race that a driver has ever driven in, he won it. And that was the story of Shane Van Gisbergen in Chicago. In Chicago Street. They raced on the streets of Chicago, and Shane Van Gisbergen proved that Kiwis can win NASCAR races too.
Damn.
Then you had Atlanta 2. It was pretty uneventful. It got rained out. William Byron won another race. Big surprise. And then Martin Truex Jr. went on a tear. For 4 races in a row, he finished inside the top 10, if not winning the race.
Wow.
Damn.
He did incredibly well at New Hampshire, Pocono, Richmond, and Michigan International Speedway.
Which, Dippy, by the way.
Yes, Michigan.
So you know how my wife is a bus driver?
A bus driver, sure, yeah.
Yeah. She worked for the shuttling for Michigan Speedway for this last race that happened.
Oh, fun.
And I was like, Dippy's going to like this.
That's fucking amazing. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Did she meet any drivers?
No, she did not. But she did meet a lot of drunk racist people.
Oh, great. Racist as in they were there for a race, people. Come on, it's a joke. My mother made the joke one time that she wants to have a T-shirt made that just has a giant NASCAR logo and the hood of a NASCAR car on it, and in big bold letters it just says "I'm a racist." Like, and it's a great idea for a shirt. Wonderful idea for a shirt. I don't know how often you would be able to wear it in public.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people would quote unquote get the joke.
It's hilarious if we were in a different time.
It's
weren't so
still
sensitive.
hilarious. It's just it would be more
I mean,
hilarious.
Like, it is very hilarious. It's very funny. It would be safe if we were like if people were more understanding, able to take a fucking joke.
Exactly. And then, actually, speaking of Richmond and Michigan, we had a driver finally step up who has been considered like mediocre, if not like passable, for the last 6 years. Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas, won the first and so far only fog-shortened NASCAR race at Pocono Speedway in 2016. That win got him a place in the playoffs that year. He didn't go anywhere with it because he was in terrible equipment, and he has constantly driven for terrible equipment for a long time. He signed with a team called Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing last year and won.
A fucking mouthful.
That's my next punk band name.
Roush is Jack Roush, the creator of the team. Fenway is Fenway Park, the baseball team for the Boston Red Sox, financially supports the team. And Keselowski is the last name of one of the current drivers, Brad Keselowski, who is a NASCAR champion who decided to transfer his skills and his talent over to Roush's team to put them in a better position for the next generation of cars. He has not won. Chris Buescher has won 3 times in his tenure with Roush Fenway Keselowski. Once last year at Bristol, and then he won 2 in a row at Richmond and Michigan.
Damn.
An incredible feat. And yesterday, and this is where my true 90 seconds...
feat. Donna's gonna get excited.
Zing! Zing! And yesterday...
Just know that, like, when you beat that NPC, you will know what they are
You
after
will
I
know.
do everything.
Yeah.
I know.
It'll make sense because when I tell you the name, you'll get it.
Oh, God.
But I'm not gonna do it until it's not showing up in like campaign.
Yesterday, at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the crown jewels of the entirety of the motorsports world, Formula One drivers, IndyCar drivers, NASCAR drivers, any like discipline of motorsports racing wants to go to Indy and wants to win. They held the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard in Indianapolis yesterday, and it was dominated by one man, a Christian preacher from Phoenix, Arizona, who has been in the Cup Series for 15 years. He won the 2021 Daytona 500 in a last lap crash pass where he won and got locked into the playoffs. Last year, he performed a little bit better, but in terms of performance this year, he has not been up to his usual snuff, but he went out yesterday and won in dominant fashion, and that man's name is Michael McDowell, driver of the number 34.
Familiar, but yeah.
Driver of the number 34 for Front Row Motorsports, sponsored by Love's Travel Stop. Well, yesterday he was sponsored by somebody else. He was sponsored by Horizon, something, not First Horizon Bank or Front Horizon Bank, but
Dawn.
something. Yeah, Horizon True Dawn. No. He was
I don't
sponsored
even know
by.
if that's actually like the freaking.
He was
movement
sponsored
for
by a
it.
different
I don't know.
sponsor, but he won in dramatic and dominant fashion, and I am so proud of him for it. He is now locked into the real NASCAR playoffs. In my points, he only jumped 1 spot.
Oh.
He did not do well enough to get into the top 15, but he is in the playoffs regardless. And that's why NASCAR implemented the playoffs, to get drivers who would normally be in the middle of the pack. If they win a race, they're participating in the highest level of the sport in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have a chance to win the championship at that point.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. Not too crazy about it myself, but
Dippy, you reminded
Yeah.
me of something.
What's that?
And it was because of like you were naming off the one name and then like categorizing like the different stuff
Mhm.
and whatnot. For some reason, it made me think of the studio that creates like Coraline and like not Island of Dogs and shit like that. Like claymation
Leica
stuff.
Studios.
Yeah, Leica Studios.
Yeah.
I can't.
It
I
is like
want
a
to say it's
studio,
Nike's.
yeah.
I want to say it's Nike. The individual that runs Lycan Studios, they have never made enough on any film that they have done to pay for the film, but they continue to make them because because the parent of that person owns Nike.
Yep.
Oh.
Leica Studios is sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, they always have like shoes that are made for the movies and stuff like that. It's how they, but as long as not that dynamic happens, we will have claymation, and it's kind of like that's the thing that's keeping it really alive, because animation is so much cheaper to do nowadays, especially 3D. But claymation is such a like art form that it's great that it's staying alive through that, and that people can be able to experience that and see what it is, because a lot of people, that is their first type of animation that they ever do.
Yeah.
Stop motion animation, claymation, yeah, that's definitely. I'm very happy for that studio, like continuing to do what they do, and for a lot of people who take up the stop motion animation as an art form, it's a lot of work. I did stop motion for my history of animation class way back when I was a freshman. I did stop motion for my history of animation class, and it was difficult to do because it's a lot of precise movements. It's easier to do than hand drawn because you like 90% of the work of stop motion animation is making the shit to do the animation in the first place. But after you do that, it's easier to do, but it's more tedious.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I applaud other people for doing. I don't know if I will ever do it myself.
The beautiful thing about that is that person's just able to create.
Yeah.
You know that none of those movies were made because the studio was just like, oh, this is a great idea, it'll make it thousands of money. It was that this person had an idea and they were allowed to create it to its fullness and share that creation with other people, and other people just resonate with that.
First openly gay character in an animated film was made by a Leica production. In Paranorman, the jock in Paranorman is just straight up gay at the end. Like there's no sugarcoating on it.
Entire time.
He's gay. No, listen. Even though it is used as a joke. It is used primarily as a joke, but it's handled as it's handled as a tasteful joke, right? Because Norman's sister wants to get with the jock the whole time, and then it turns out, oh, he has a boyfriend.
My boyfriend would love this.
Yeah. And then she's like, well, not like a well he's gay, in a well he's already committed to something type way.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that for them. Where are we at now? What are we doing?
We're probably
talk. We're at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I will speak on one more thing, and then we can go ahead and get starting to wrapping up.
Do you have a Dapper draft ready to go?
Oh fuck! Well, two more things.
Oh my god! Damn it!
Oh boy.
The Dapper draft is my favorite part.
Yeah, bring back the Dapper draft. Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, I have a pencil here that I'll work with. All right.
You had something else you wanted to bring up. We could do that first. I just wanted to ask if you had one
Yeah,
ready.
I'm just getting stuff ready for a Dapper draft. So, I can't record the.
Can't record
Can I
separately.
record? Uh-oh.
You can record part of, like, if you're live streaming. Are you recording the live stream?
Not really, because it just goes right to YouTube.
Yeah,
right?
but like, Dippy,
I can start recording the live stream.
Yeah, you could just record this part on like the stream and stuff, and then when you stop it, it'll just go into whatever file it goes to, or that you have it set
right.
to. So you could totally record it and then like edit it later.
Okay, well then for that case, what I'm gonna do for the recording's sake is I'm gonna turn off the chat box. I'm gonna turn off the alert box. And I will just set it so that we don't have those coming up in the middle of the recording.
Okay. Which, by the way, I think the alert box only works on Twitch.
No, I think it brings up subscribers, like YouTube subscribers, and then if you become a member of the channel, it brings it up too. Yeah, it works
We
both ways.
have that?
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Boys.
I mean, we have subscribers, but we don't have like, members. We haven't gotten to that point.
We
would be
have
fun.
subscribers? Wait, what?
On YouTube,
It's
yes, we have
YouTube.
subscribers.
Subscribing
yeah.
is free.
I don't think so.
No, subscribing is free on YouTube. It's not free on Twitch.
Dudley, are
Twitch
you not subscribed to us on YouTube?
No.
Dadley, how dare you?
I'll subscribe right now.
Okay.
Dudley J. Jenkins.
The truth come out. Does Dadley is not subscribed?
Question mark?
Question
Definitely
mark?
not clickbait.
Yeah. Number 6 will make you want to fuck your
That's the
dad.
name. That's the name. That's the name of this episode.
Dadley, you okay? Dadley, you all right? You gonna be all right, buddy?
The last one, I couldn't believe it.
The last one, you make you.
I just swallowed when you said that. And it took everything in me not to spit up my drink.
Okay. Mhm. All right.
Oh my god. Also, welcome, Primal Goddess.
Thank you,
Oh,
Primal
hi.
Goddess, for showing up. We
How's
love
it
you
going?
showing up regardless. All right, boys. It is
Man.
time once again for us to jump into the wide world of sports and picking things in this week's episode of the Dapper Draft. Dapper Draft. So, gentlemen,
I want to get like a big horn section.
Get-
to do that. Like,
well, that's the ESPN Sports Center thing, so we can't exactly do that.
Okay.
But
oh, that's fair. Fine,
actually,
I wanna
no,
get a terrible
it falls within
trumpet
fair
player.
use because it's like 5 seconds. It's like 5 seconds. It falls within fair
How
use.
funny it would be if we get a terrible trumpet player to do it, though. Like,
That would be great. Grant, for the first and
It's
for
just
those,
them yelling into the horn.
it's just yelling into my horn. All right, so
What are we doing?
I
5 or
want
6?
I want us to let's this is a team of 5 as it typically is. I know in the very first episode, which is now its own dedicated video on the YouTube channel, go over there to watch it out, to check it out. Go up there to watch it out, to check it out. God damn.
I just asked my kid if he flushed his butt, so. I feel you.
I want you boys to draft a team of I had like 3 in the backlog and I'm not thinking of any of them. Because I can't remember what I know the very last one was Things You Shout, and that was a great draft.
Yes.
I'm tempted to just go with draft.
Honestly,
No,
My
I've got it.
dumbass, It's like, think of, I don't know, go.
I want you to draft the stars of the next hit sitcom
Oh,
Are
that
these,
are
like, real
outside
people?
of the sitcom space. So like the people that haven't already been in a hit sitcom that you would want to see.
I don't know famous people.
Just celebrities, actors. what
Okay,
have
fine.
you. Yeah. Just people.
Do
that
they
you
have to
think
be
of.
alive or dead? can they
I
be
will
alive
say
and-
for the purposes of this prompt, they can be either alive or dead. You can bring
Okay.
people. You get to bring 5 actors back from the dead to perform in the latest hit sitcom.
Is this all one sitcom? Are we like?
Yes, this is
like,
one
is my-
sitcom.
So my list is gonna be a sitcom.
Is a sitcom. My list is going to be
Okay.
a different sitcom, and Donald's
Okay.
list is going
And
to
then
be
at
a
the
different
end of
sitcom.
it, we will figure out what the name of said sitcom is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now we don't have to have the same theme of sitcom if you don't want.
Yep.
But so we each have a different theme in mind for our sitcom.
Oh, I have no
Alright.
fucking idea what I'm doing.
Rollies.
Yeah, rollies.
Yeah, let's roll for the order here. Oh god.
Well, I'm going
Ooh.
last.
What did you get, Donna?
I got a 6.
I got an 8.
Hey.
I got a 15.
Okay.
All
yep,
right.
I'm going
So
last.
it's
So it's a Dippy Dono Dadley.
Dippy
Or
Dono
Dippy
Dadley
Dadley Dono.
Dippy Dadley Dono order. A classic order if I've ever seen one.
It's almost alphabetical.
Almost. It's not. Well,
It's
no.
not at all.
Not even close. Okay,
No,
so
it's like almost the opposite.
this is. I'll say you can draw celebrities from whatever pool of the celebritydom you want.
Yep.
So you could pick like YouTubers or Twitch streamers or like sports people if you really wanted to, just to make this sitcom even that more hilarious. And with my first pick, I am going to go with like the all-time classic. I don't think he's ever been in a sitcom per se. I've got to go with Steve Buscemi.
Oh, okay. So this sitcom's gonna have some drama in it right off the back. He's a good dramatic actor as well as comedy. Like he can really hold his chops.
Dramatic is a good way to put it. He's a great drama
yep.
actor and a great comedy actor as well.
Am I allowed to pick someone that guest starred on a sitcom but was never like not a mainstay?
Yeah. If they had a cameo or a one-time appearance, you can absolutely name them for a full-time sitcom. Yeah.
So every sitcom needs a star. It needs like the lovable face of it,
Mhm.
and for that, I'm gonna go with Michael Bublé.
Oh
Come
wow!
out of
Jumping
his
from
cave?
music to sitcoms. Okay.
He was
I
on
like
New
it, I
Girl,
like
and he
it.
was fucking hysterical on New Girl.
Oh
So
my goodness.
Really?
yeah, he was. He's genuine, a really funny person. Yeah. So Michael
have not
Bublé,
seen-
I feel like could really house, and not playing a character. It's just Michael Bublé.
It's just a movie. It's just
It's
sitcom
Michael
about
Bublé.
him.
Yeah.
It's just Michael Bublé.
Perfect.
It's like the
Incredible.
music industry or something like that. I don't know.
Dom.
Okay. She's silent, but she's pretty. It's the Mona Lisa.
What a great
what-
direction to pull this in. What a fantastic
God,
direction to take
I
this.
feel like I misthought this entire thing. That is beautiful.
That is
Yes.
open. That
Yeah.
is blowing the door wide open for the
Yeah.
weirdest. Oh man.
How are we doing this? Is it Dono and back up, or are we just going round?
Let's flip a coin for it. Heads at Serpentine. Heads at Serpentine. Tails. It's back to the top of the order.
Oh, please be Serpentine.
It's Serpentine. Dono, you go.
My next one, and you'll find a theme with this. Donatello.
The artist Donatello.
Yeah.
Incredible. Or no, just the Ninja Turtle. Just
Nope. I have a feeling that's where we're going, Timmy. So I feel like Michael Bublé, a little bit of a whack job, a little bit of like a, silly guy. Michael Bublé. He needs the straight face. He needs like the person to like help keep him in check. And for that, I'm going with I already forgot his name.
Oh my god.
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Let's go with that. Well, for my next, I honestly, if he wasn't so busy doing everything in the world for like Critical Role, Matthew Mercer would be fucking amazing in a sitcom. I know he did a bit on a sketch comedy show, but he's never been a full-time sitcom actor.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And Matthew Mercer is a genuinely like a solid pick right next to Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi and Matt Mercer, baby.
Yeah, so and obviously you have to round out the cast with a girl. So
Yeah.
Dono already has his girl. So my girl,
Female strong.
oh man. My girl. My girl.
My girl.
My girl.
My girl.
Talking about my girl.
my
It's
girl.
like my girl. Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum. I played that in high school band so many times. Let's see.
It's a damn good song. It's classic. Oh, are you guys still thinking of yours?
A little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I am.
I've literally got my entire list together.
We might be calling the draft committee when you come up again, Donald. Who's that redhead? Oh God, I can't think of her name. Wow.
I have no idea.
No. It's not Reba McEntire. It's
You mean the
not.
single mom that works too hard?
It's not the. Who's the.
Riva.
Reba.
Wait.
No. Wow.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton. No, you know what? No, I can't.
Hannah
I think
Montana.
Dolly Parton was a part of her own sitcom a while ago, like a long time ago.
I know Riva had a sitcom.
Reba
Oh,
had her
absolutely,
own
yeah.
sitcom.
Miley Cyrus.
No, the
Chris Pine.
the redhead. Oh, am I thinking of? I don't want Gwyneth Paltrow
Gal Gadot.
on my list. No, you know what?
You don't want some goop?
No, I
Fucking
don't. I
Batman.
definitely don't want any goop. Who's the mother? Who's that redheaded actress? The redheaded actress that like has been in
Emma
like
Stone?
all those things recent. Emma Stone?
No. Recent?
Red head actress.
I'm just trying to think of a redheaded actress for this draft. Introducing special guest for the Dapper Draft, Dippy's mom. Da da da.
Hello,
Da da da.
Arrow.
I don't know.
Megan Fox.
Redheaded actress.
Megan Fox
No, it's not
doesn't
Megan
sound
Fox.
right either.
I just
Megan Fox
I
isn't
just
a redhead.
googled redheaded
Jessica
actresses.
Chastain?
Megan Fox
What is
isn't
she
redhead.
in?
Heard I.
She was in some of the. She was in the second trilogy of Jurassic Park. She was in
The
Oh.
new Jurassic Park?
yeah the second trilogy.
That's who I'm
Jurassic
thinking
Worlds?
of. Jessica
Amy
Chastain.
Adams,
I might be thinking of Amy Adams.
Elisa Fisher.
I'm thinking of Amy Adams. No, yeah,
Amy Adams.
I've been trying to think of Amy Adams.
The guy
Isn't
that
she
played
from
SpongeBob is now
Enchanted?
dating Ariana Grande.
Enchanted?
I could
yeah,
talk for so long about that
Her?
man.
yeah.
Yeah, she was in
her,
Enchanted.
Yeah. Yes, her. Of course.
And then Disenchanted, the sequel that they made.
Oh, that chick.
Of course, the classic. The
That's right
classic.
now.
Yeah, she was in.
would
Yeah, she
you-
was in. Oh yeah, she was in Man of Steel and American Hustle and.
Got it.
Howard's
Yep.
daughter was
Mm-hmm.
in
All right, so
Bryce Howard.
that'll be my number 3.
That's just.
Oh god, yeah, no, I wasn't thinking of her specifically. Okay, yeah. So, Dadley. No, yes, Dadley.
Yes.
Your turn. Your number
So
3.
as I'm thinking about this sitcom and whatnot, I see Michael Bublé, I see Sylvester Stallone,
Mhm.
and I'm getting the vibe that this whole sitcom, maybe it's a mini series, maybe it's just a mini series, but
Mhm.
it's a good sitcom mini series that
Mhm.
could keep going forever as they wanted. And I feel like this is like a bizarre hotel that got frozen for like a night, or at least would be an episode. And in this hotel, I can only imagine one person joining Michael Bublé and Sylvester Stallone.
Mm.
Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters.
Dave Grohl.
Dude,
Oh my
Dave
God,
Grohl
I
seems
love
like
it.
such a chill guy to fucking hang out with.
I love Dave Grohl to pieces. His book, really quick, his book, Storyteller,
Mm.
not just like a great book if you like the music industry and whatnot, one of the best written books, in my opinion. Like, so technically
I
a
need to read
good
more.
author.
I need
Listen
to.
to his audiobook. He narrates his own audiobook. So it's just
Really?
him telling you stories of his childhood and stuff. It's awesome.
Fuck, dude.
All right.
All
And
right.
Donna, your number 3
What-
and your number 4, sir.
Anybody want to guess what they are?
I can take a pretty damn good stab. I'll
is it
disqualify
Raphael?
you from this draft if I get them in the exact order too. Is it Raphael and then Michelangelo?
No,
Ah.
it's Michelangelo and then Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, okay. Then Leonardo da Vinci.
I wonder what you're doing.
Gee, I wonder.
So Michael
Deadly, you're
Bublé
number
has
4.
his sidekick of a Sylvester Stallone.
Mhm.
I feel like Dave Grohl also needs a kind of straight, a straight face.
Is it the
Sidekick.
singer of the Foo Fighters? Is it
That's
the-
Dave Grohl is the
Dave
singer.
Grohl
of Foo
is
Fighters.
the singer of the Foo
Oh, wait, he's the
Fighters.
drummer and the singer? That's right.
No,
Yeah.
Wait.
you're thinking about.
Well, no, he's the guitarist and the singer of Foo Fighters.
Are you thinking
he
of
was the
Nirvana?
drummer of Nirvana.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's mostly known as a drummer. You are right. He is mostly a
Right.
drummer.
Okay. So anyway, so is it the drummer of the Foo Fighters?
No,
No.
He needs actually that drummer recently passed away. R.I.P.
Oh, R.I.P.
Oh, that's
Phenomenal
right, his
human
son
being.
was playing in
Yeah, you can pull up a video of his son. So, all right, really quick tangent while you brought this up. The drummer passed away. They did a big charity event in his honor. And for My Hero, a song that is so dedicated to fatherhood and whatnot, his son came out and played the drums. It will make anybody cry watching his son's face play the drums on stage where his father sat. Oh my God.
I saw somebody do an edit of the kid playing and then the father playing.
Yes.
And the kid drums just like his dad.
But this, I feel fucked up now. But this is a great segue into who I was picking. Courtney Love.
Oh,
The woman Kurt Cobain was married to when he passed away.
the one who killed Kurt Cobain, you mean?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think Dave Grohl and Courtney Love being stuck in a hotel and Dave Grohl going out of his mind and Courtney Love being like, can you calm the fuck down, is hysterical in the finalist.
Well, I am gonna have two wildly out of left
Why are they
field,
stuck in
like
a
to
hotel?
each other picks.
They got snowed in.
So
This is the episode I'm creating in my head.
right. So Willem Dafoe has never been a
That
full-time
was my number
sitcom
5.
star.
Shit,
Oh,
that was sincerely, that was my number 5, and I have to
Willem
pick someone else now.
Dafoe is like the old man of this sitcom, whether that's grandpa, dad, whatever the dynamic is here, because Steve Buscemi is also the old man.
Yes.
And then you need a young, sporty guy, so I'm gonna pick Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Because he did a commercial for Verizon recently, and he seemed just as natural of an actor as he did a fucking football player. Like, it was scary how, like, natural for the situation Josh Allen actually was. So I feel like he would have a great career in TV after he inevitably sprains his hand, like, or like throws his shoulder out, or permanently dislocates his foot, or whatever is going to happen to him, because the Bills are not going to have it this good for this long, unconsequentially. Well, no, they did have DeMar Hamlin. Not rest in peace, but what a fucking terrifying story that was. So I don't know. Maybe they expended all of their bad luck in that one moment. But yeah, that's my list. Dadley,
So,
finish it off.
Dippy has
list.
me going for the reserves, the real off-the-wall pick. So I'm just going to set the scene of the first episode of the sitcom. Michael Bublé doesn't know what to do with himself because this is the first Christmas he is not on tour. With his bodyguard, Sylvester Stallone. They get snowed into a hotel that their hotel neighbors on either side of them. One
And
of
their
Dave
driver,
Grohl,
Dave Grohl. The bus driver, Dave Grohl.
And as they walk their way down to the hotel bar, finally setting the scene of the cast of this pilot episode is Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. Oh my god. The fucking, like, the 7-time. No, he's not 7-time. How many championships did Wayne Gretzky win? I don't feel like it was that many in retrospect.
If you asked me at a trivia night, I would have said 7, so I really don't know.
Wayne Gretzky championships. Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players of all time, won 4 Stanley Cup championships with the Edmonton Oilers in 84, 85, 87, and 88. There you go. So the 4-time Stanley Cup champion, Wayne Gretzky, is just sitting there at the bar or standing behind the bar.
4 doesn't feel like a lot. I wanted to, in defense of Wayne Gretzky, 4 is a lot in hockey, but more than that, out of his professional career, only 1 season he didn't play in the playoffs. Like, wild. All right, Dono, finishing out your list. I have a guess, but I would love to hear what it is.
Okay, so I guarantee you're not going to guess this one.
Okay.
It's because I changed it at the last second.
Okay. We have a trade. We have a trade. Do the trade offer sound effect here, editor.
This is one of my favorite actors when I was younger. Fucking phenomenal, man's an acrobatic, absolute legend at his craft. It's Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. Oh my god. starring as Raphael. Raphael, played by Jackie Chan. Wow. Okay, so Dadley has already described his sitcom in some detail. I will now describe mine. So Steve Buscemi, Matthew Mercer, Amy Adams, Willem Dafoe, and Josh Allen are like they're not a common law family, but they're all like the members of a committee like in a small town that like they never see like eye to eye with each other because they all inhabit their own stereotype. Steve Buscemi and Willem Dafoe are like counter opposites, like old man stereotypes, where like one of them is like the hard-headed, never changing one, and the other one is like an old, like hippy dippy motherfucker who wanted to change everything, who was like part of the hippie movement in the 50s and 60s, whenever, or the 60s and 70s, whenever it was. Matthew Mercer is like the, instead of being the token nerd, he's kind of like just the young, like, he's the young, like, oh, I'm just happy to be here on the committee type guy. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's just himself. He's just the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills who got selected for this committee, and he makes like sports decisions. Like and then Amy Adams is like the chair, or like the Karen of the committee, like who complains about whatever decision is made. So they can never come to a consensus on anything. And at the end of the show, they finally come to a consensus on a decision, like for the first time. Like all the votes either like pass or fail in the show depending on who talks about what and what the shenanigans of the show are, but they finally come to a consensus in the season finale of the first season, and then voting day comes and one of them swaps out. Like you swap out one of them for another actor like at the end of the series, and it's just like the other actor, you still keep up with them like as a B plot, and then that's how you introduce complexity in the show, is you introduce a new B plot for whatever actors get voted out of the committee like at the end of this year of the committee.
I love that.
But like I imagine the first one to go would be like Willem Dafoe would like die and they would have to write him off the show posthumously.
Hey, do you guys know William Dafoe has a giant dick?
Willem Dafoe. It's not William Dafoe.
Oh, my bad.
He's got a pretty big willy though.
He does. Like, apparently it's huge.
And that is the end of the trades. Stop all trades. The draft is over.
Wait, Dono.
Wait,
Dono.
Yeah, what's okay? So
that was me.
I just gotta go with
explaining
this.
away my life.
All right. So Mona Lisa is a young daughter of a rich royal within the kingdom that both Donatello, Michelangelo, and Leonardo da Vinci are part of. And Jackie Chan is your fucking butler slash bodyguard.
The misadventures.
And there's ninjas.
The Mona Lisa and Jackie Chan star in.
Fuck up. Let me explain this. Ultimately, not the three artists are trying to woo Mona Lisa through a piece of art that they create with her in mind, and that being some part of it. That the ultimate finale is the reveal of these said three pieces, and the decision that she chooses no one.
She chooses Jackie Chan, and they run off together.
Jackie Chan.
I like the idea that Jackie Chan is like a foreign butler slash bodyguard for her that like her father brought in, and acts as like a figurehead and is able to give like Japanese proverbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, the Renaissance
throughout the life.
Yeah, well, the Renaissance period was
lined
up. The Renaissance period lined up with Imperial Japan, like Imperial, not the Imperial Japan of World War II. No, not that Imperial Japan, but like Middle Ages Imperial Japan would have had like samurai and Bushido and like all these other
like the whole thing of like there's a subplot of like there's a war going on and she's like a target of capture and stuff like that.
I like it.
That the artists are known to be able to bring peace and stuff throughout their artwork or gift, something that gives life into a world that is full of death and now combat, and
What
is trying to build. Yeah,
what great lists these are. This was like a little bit off whim, but like, my god, they're actually kind of fun.
I want to hand these lists to someone who didn't watch this and see what they thought we were drafting.
What are you drafting? Like, make an anti-draft. Hand this list to people who had no idea and be like, all right, draft 5 people based on what you think this list means.
Oh, what's the name of our sitcoms?
Oh, what's the built by committee?
It's not looking like Christmas.
For an entire year-long sitcom. No,
Every episode is a Christmas special with Michael Bublé. That's the shtick.
Oh god, that would be so horrible.
I
It's
didn't
like
say
an
I meant
episode
good
of-
one.
No,
It's like an episode of 24 hours.
No, it's 25 days till Christmas, and it runs for 25 episodes, and the last episode is Christmas.
Yes.
That would be so much better.
And somehow New Year's is like the last 5 seconds because it's like 5, 4, 3.
Or no, that's what you do. You have Christmas like in the middle, like the mid-season,
Yes.
the mid-season break finale,
like,
and then you have
things
New
go
Year's.
wrong.
Yeah, and then you have
Michael
New
Bublé
Year's.
slowly going into a depression until the next Christmas.
Oh god, and then you have New
And then he
Year's
goes back
for
into
the
his
season
cave.
finale. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck, what mine? Honestly, I'd call it like the Mona Lisa, and it'd be like a romance comedy. Yeah, and it's now I'd set like all 3 of these artists in like their younger years.
Yeah.
where they're impressionable.
Absolutely.
They're, like they were all very well known.
I will
in
say,
their younger years, and so
You're slowly
quite
just
creative.
making Clone High.
Why, Mona? You need to go out with me because I made this painting of you. And it's just like, what would John F. Kennedy have even drawn? He would have drawn it on
His
with
own
like
penis.
Oh
His own
god,
penis.
no. Oh
The John
god.
F. Kennedy from
Alright.
Clone High, 100%.
Yeah,
gentlemen, we need to wrap this up.
Let's
Yes,
wrap
we
it
do.
up. So, media picks.
Did you break your mic again?
No, this microphone doesn't work. I just like it as a prop.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
It will eventually work. What I want to do, I was telling Dippy before you got here, if I can do this right. I wanna dangle it from the ceiling like an old school announcer microphone.
Yeah. And in the red corner.
Technically, that guy's still alive, so it's not old school. He still does it.
And he still sues the hell out of people for Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
Ah, you said it.
No!
Oh God! Bleep it out.
Media picks of the week. I
found
Oh,
this
shit.
amazing. I found this amazing artist the other day named Caro Emerald, and and she did an electro swing album called Deleted Scenes from the Cutting Room Floor, and specifically she did a song called Stuck that I have been listening to obsessively for the
I
last
haven't
like,
thought about
week or
electric
so.
swing in years.
Yeah.
I'm definitely checking that
Caro,
out. I love
go check out on
Drop it in the,
go check out on
drop it in the
Spotify.
Discord.
Caro Emerald. I will copy the song link for Caro Emerald Stuck.
You know
and
what?
I will put it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be vain, and I'm okay with that. My media pick of the week is me. I'm very proud of the
Hey.
photography I've gotten on my Instagram. Like
Oh.
sincerely, I am
makes
very
good
much
sense.
coming into my own as a photographer.
I'm signed into the wrong Discord account.
I
Hold
am
on.
loving it as a hobby, and got to do some really cool things that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But
I have plans
the company that I
can't
work with,
share with you right
yeah.
now because the haters will
the-
sabotage me.
the company I work with, Paper Shoot Cameras, that originally was just like a little like, here's a promo code sponsorship, reached out and really liked a lot of my photography, so it's going to be used in some ads, and then we have some contests that I get to run in the near future
Hey, there
for
you
the
go.
company. So it's me. I get to call myself an artist for the first time in a long time, and I'm very
Hey.
happy to say that. So I'm the media pick of the week. Go check out my
Fuck yeah.
photography on Instagram.
It's me.
Sadly J Jenkins. It's me.
me.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. All right. And then
All right.
Fuck, man, I didn't think about this.
I didn't either.
Me of the pick another week. Freaking meditate. My guy, stress is like such a fucking thing. Meditate.
What?
Relax.
Meditate.
Find- yeah. find some
Meditating
shit-
as a media?
Yeah. fucking
Okay.
sit down,
You know
listen to some
I'm just
meditation
gonna-
music.
I was about to
just
say,
enjoy
do you
yourself.
have a specific meditation track that you like?
I don't know, feed her. No, I don't know. Feed her to the sharks. Fuck, man. You can meditate to anything.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
And our life advice. Don't meditate to sharks. No. No, life advice. Even if you don't believe it when people say it'll work out, most of the time it works out.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long it takes, it will. Hopefully. You gotta keep up hope. You gotta keep up the thought that it will, because it will if you let it.
My life advice is if you're on Indeed and a company has a salary listed and then you contact the company and it's commission only, you're allowed to report them. You're allowed to get them removed on Indeed for lying.
I needed to know that. Thank you.
That's fantastic. I just lost the thing. Oh, there's a weird thing that's been happening to me recently that I didn't think like would be a thing. But I've been posting like my weight loss and like bodybuilding and stuff like that. And I just like it was a big thing for me to just like catch my like to keep myself accountable.
Mm.
And it just helps to be able to post your shit.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to show off what you're doing, because you may inspire somebody to make their life better. I've had so many people reach out to me and just be like, "Hey, I'm excited to see where you go next, because it's just like it's incredible where you've come." And I'm just like, I just thought I was just fucking working out, dude.
Mhm.
But it's incredible the things that you can do to help others when you don't know like what they're going through, because everybody's going through something. So don't be afraid to post your shit, because you could inspire amazing things out of people. And we should
Yeah.
constantly push each other to grow and be better and to gain.
I just realized I didn't stop recording Dapper Draft until just now. So
It's fine.
It happens.
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. You can edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Whether you're on the VOD or on the live, thank you for your support. I've been Dippy.
I'm always Dadley.
And I'm most of the time Dono.
And until next time, your adventure matters.
Roll for initiative.
And bye-bye.
Stay
And
dapper.
stay dapper.
Golly,
Oh,
we're
fuck.
gonna get
God
that
damn
right.
it.
We're gonna get that right one of these days.
It's been 2
Bye.
years.